Norman O'Neill was a highly regarded Australian actor and artist, best known for his contributions to the film and television industry. Born on February 1st, 1934 in Sydney, New South Wales, O'Neill's early exposure to the arts sparked an interest in performance that would shape his career. His passion for the arts grew as he pursued acting and studied at the prestigious National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA, which would lay the foundation for his future work on stage and screen. O'Neill's career took off in the 1950s when he began working in Australian television, particularly during the early days of the medium's rise in the country. He became a familiar face on Australian TV in shows like The Mavis Bramston Show and The Outsiders, where he demonstrated his versatility and ability to bring various characters to life. O'Neill's charm and talent were undeniable, and he quickly garnered attention both in Australia and abroad. Throughout his career, O'Neill worked with various prominent directors and companies, expanding his influence in the entertainment industry. His performances range from light-hearted comedy roles to intense drama, allowing him to become an integral part of the Australian acting scene. His ability to transition between different genres was one of his standout qualities, enabling him to stay relevant for decades in an ever-changing industry. In addition to his work in television, Norman O'Neill made significant contributions to the Australian film industry. He appeared in a number of films that were recognized for their artistic merit and social impact. His filmography includes both local productions and international collaborations, which further cemented his reputation as a respected actor. Despite not achieving the same level of fame as some of his contemporaries, his work remains influential, and he was held in high regard within the industry. O'Neill's career spanned multiple decades, and even as his acting career slowed down, he remained an important figure in the arts community. His later years were marked by a shift away from acting and toward working behind the scenes. His legacy in the entertainment industry endures, with many viewing him as a trailblazer who contributed to the growth of Australian television and film. Norman O'Neill passed away on December 17, 2003, but his work continues to be appreciated by audiences and industry professionals alike. His dedication to his craft and his role in shaping Australian arts have left a lasting mark on the country's cultural landscape. Although Norman O'Neill's name may not be as widely recognized globally as some of his peers, his contributions to Australian entertainment have had a lasting impact. His passion for storytelling, whether on stage or screen, helped shape the cultural and creative landscape of Australia during the mid to late 20th century. He was known for his professionalism, dedication, and commitment to every role he took on, ensuring that each character he portrayed felt authentic and compelling to the audience. In addition to his work in television and film, O'Neill's influence extended into the theater, where he took on both acting and directing roles. His work in live performances provided a different dimension to his career, allowing him to experiment with his craft in a more dynamic and interactive environment. O'Neill's deep understanding of character development, combined with his stage experience, enabled him to bring a level of depth and complexity to his work that set him apart from other actors of his time. As an actor, O'Neill faced the challenges of working in an industry that was undergoing significant changes. In the 1960s and 1970s, Australian television and film were still in their formative stages. Actors like O'Neill had to navigate the growing pains of the entertainment world in Australia, competing for recognition against more established British and American actors. Despite these challenges, O'Neill's persistence paid off, and his work garnered him respect from his peers. His personal life, though private, added another layer to his persona. O'Neill's dedication to his craft often meant a focus on his professional life, but he also took time to mentor younger actors and foster a sense of community in the Australian entertainment world. His relationships within the industry reflected his generous spirit, and he was widely regarded as someone who was approachable and supportive of emerging talent. Though his death in 2003 marked the end of an era for Australian television and film, Norman O'Neill's legacy remains. His dedication to the craft of acting, his contributions to the early days of Australian television, and his efforts to elevate the arts in the country continue to be felt. His body of work is celebrated by historians, film buffs, and those who had the privilege of working alongside him. O'Neill will always be remembered as one of Australia's great actors, whose impact transcended the boundaries of the entertainment industry. In the years following Norman O'Neill's death, his contributions to Australian arts have been reflected in various tributes from both the entertainment community and his admirers. Retrospectives of his work, particularly in Australian television and film, continue to showcase the enduring impact he had on the industry. Some of his more prominent roles are still referenced by industry professionals as examples of finely crafted performances, demonstrating his skill in embodying a wide range of characters. Beyond his acting career, O'Neill's influence has been felt in the shaping of Australian cultural identity, particularly in the 1950s to the 1970s, when the nation was evolving into a more globally recognized cultural force. His body of work represents a unique moment in Australian television history, which was transitioning from British-influenced productions to something distinctly Australian. O'Neill was part of this transformation, helping to define a national voice that resonated both with Australian audiences and international viewers. O'Neill's commitment to authenticity in his roles, whether comedic or dramatic, provided a model for future generations of Australian actors. His nuanced approach to character work and his ability to bring depth to complex roles helped establish him as an integral figure in the Australian performing arts community. Many actors who came after him have cited his work as an inspiration, appreciating how he was able to balance naturalism with theatricality, which was particularly important during an era when Australian film and TV was still finding its voice. In addition, O'Neill's portrayal of Australian life and culture helped influence future works that explored the identity of the nation. His roles in both comedic and dramatic series often highlighted the social and political issues of the time, which provided a platform for further discussion and analysis in the broader Australian entertainment industry. As such, he was part of a generation of actors who not only entertained, but also educated audiences about Australian society. Norman O'Neill's legacy is also carried on by his family, friends, and those who were fortunate enough to work alongside him. His enduring impact on the Australian entertainment industry is not just measured in the roles he played, but in the quality of work he inspired and the cultural conversations his performances initiated. While he may not have achieved the same level of global fame as some of his contemporaries, O'Neill's contributions remain a foundational part of Australia's cinematic and television history. Today, O'Neill's influence can still be felt in the work of those who came after him. His artistry is appreciated not only in the specific roles he portrayed, but also in the way he helped lay the groundwork for the flourishing of Australian talent on the global stage. His name lives on through the richness of his performances, his professional integrity, and his role in shaping the Australian entertainment scene for decades to come. As time passes, the recognition of Norman O'Neill's work continues to grow. Academic studies on the history of Australian television and film increasingly highlight his contributions, and retrospectives on the evolution of local drama and comedy often reference his performances as key moments in shaping the nation's entertainment landscape. Film scholars and critics studying the early years of Australian television frequently cite O'Neill's work as emblematic of the challenges and opportunities that arose as the medium evolved. His career is used as a benchmark for understanding the transition from early Australian TV shows to the more complex, globally resonant productions that would follow. O'Neill's role in pioneering Australian television also resonates in the current landscape. As Australian media has gained increasing international attention, especially with the rise of streaming platforms and international co-productions, O'Neill's contributions to the early foundations of the industry are seen as foundational. His work is often viewed in light of the country's more recent achievements in film and television, and many current Australian actors and filmmakers are inspired by the pioneering path he helped carve. In more personal terms, O'Neill's colleagues remember him as a mentor and a consummate professional. Those who had the privilege of working with him often reflect on his generosity in sharing knowledge and his readiness to collaborate, making him beloved by his peers. His humility and respect for the craft set him apart in an industry that often values fame over artistry, ensuring that his reputation as a thoughtful and dedicated actor endures. Furthermore, O'Neill's influence extends beyond the acting community. His work helped lay the groundwork for a more distinct and unique Australian storytelling voice that would eventually emerge in works like The Castle, 1997, and The Dish, 2000, films that embrace Australian quirks and humor with sincerity and authenticity. The cultural impact of his work continues to echo through modern Australian productions that explore identity, family, and community with warmth and humor. As Australians continue to reflect on their shared cultural history, Norman O'Neill's name will remain linked to the early days of the country's television and film industry. In the future, as more Australian stories are told globally, O'Neill's influence will persist, quietly shaping the direction of those narratives and reminding the world of the depth of talent that the Australian entertainment industry has long nurtured. In addition to his legacy within the entertainment industry, Norman O'Neill's work has had a lasting impact on the broader cultural fabric of Australia. His ability to portray characters that resonated with the Australian public contributed to shaping how Australians saw themselves on screen. Through his performances, O'Neill helped convey the unique aspects of Australian life, from humor and warmth to the complexities of personal and social dynamics. His roles captured the essence of the country's evolving identity, and in doing so, contributed to the establishment of a distinctly Australian voice in global media. O'Neill's contributions to the arts were not solely confined to his performances. His work also served as a bridge between the older, traditional Australian narratives and the newer, more modern expressions of the country's multicultural society. By taking on roles that explored both historical and contemporary issues, he helped lay the groundwork for a more inclusive and diverse representation of Australia on screen. His legacy continues to inspire filmmakers, writers, and actors to push boundaries and experiment with more authentic portrayals of Australian life, focusing on both its past and its evolving future. Even as the Australian entertainment industry continues to grow in stature and prominence, Norman O'Neill's early work serves as a reminder of the importance of solid foundations. His dedication to the craft of acting, focusing not only on his personal growth, but also on contributing to the development of the industry as a whole, remains a powerful example for those who aspire to follow in his footsteps. Today, emerging talents can look back at his career for inspiration, understanding that greatness in the industry is built not just on individual talent, but on a collective effort to shape the arts in a way that speaks to both personal and societal truths. O'Neill's impact also extends beyond his time in front of the camera. His support for emerging talent and his mentorship of younger actors helped to foster a collaborative environment within the Australian entertainment community. He played a role in nurturing the next generation of actors, encouraging them to be bold and authentic in their portrayals of the characters they played. This spirit of mentorship and collaboration remains a key part of the culture within the Australian entertainment industry, ensuring that O'Neill's influence will continue to be felt in the years to come. As Australian television and film continue to achieve greater international recognition, it is clear that Norman O'Neill's legacy will endure. His work paved the way for more opportunities for Australian actors and filmmakers to gain exposure on the global stage. He helped open doors for the country's entertainment industry, enabling it to compete with the best in the world, while still maintaining its unique cultural identity. With his commitment to quality, authenticity, and storytelling, O'Neill played a pivotal role in shaping Australia's cultural narrative, and that narrative continues to evolve, shaped in part by his invaluable contributions. In the end, Norman O'Neill remains an essential figure in the history of Australian entertainment, a testament to the power of dedication to craft and the impact of authentic, meaningful storytelling.